Looks like we're live. Good morning, everybody. This is Vince with Listings to Leads. How are you? Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see my screen, please. And let's see. I see you got some kind of light here in my face. Let's see. Natalie, what? You're in Fair Oaks? That's up by where Scott is. Yeah, you can hear me. Awesome. Good morning, everybody. I'm Vincent. Scott does a lot of the other calls. I do these ones on Monday. But we're going to be talking about top tools for more listings. So let's give it a minute because we're just coming to the top of the hour. Yeah, I'm from Sacramento originally, Natalie. That's how Scott and Yee learned about Sacramento. When they had kids, they needed to get out of the city, out of San Francisco. And I said, hey, there's great schools up there. That's a place to live. So they've been happy. Where's everybody from? I know Natalie's from the Sacramento area, but what part of the country are you in? And if you can, let me know, like, are you a newer agent? Are you an experienced agent, been doing this a long time? And also, like, let me know if you think you're tech savvy or not, because we actually got a really cool kind of some feedback over the weekend that I'm actually really happy to see. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about it. Okay, so we got Minna from Arizona, hot down there. Are you having a lot of inventory, Minna? Is that a story? Just a FYI, as we're waiting for people to log in, running ads on Arizona properties in places like California, New York, and Chicago, you can do that very easily in our platform. Cape Cod, wow. And your last name is Melville? Don't tell me you're related. I know 10 years with us. Well, thanks, Robert. Yeah, I recognize your name. Let's see. And John from Atlanta. That's definitely like a major market we see. I'm sure you're experiencing it. And Mike from Jacksonville. I went to Jacksonville years ago to play golf. Is that the Sawgrass place you got over there? Pretty place. Let's get started. I see we've got a lot of people. I don't want to waste everybody's time. Thanks for being here. I'm Vincent Meza. This is Listings to Leads. And today we're talking about top ways to get more listings. And there's been a lot of, the past year has been interesting. We've seen new things that really became important. And then the last quarter, we had expireds kind of explode into the market, and we released some technology that just came at the perfect time that's helping agents take advantage of all this. From Antelope Valley, Rosario, like up there with the beautiful canyon, the Red Canyon, that Antelope Valley. So when you come to our website, if you've never been here before, I just want to point out a couple things. This young lady here is she has 4 listings in 6 weeks using our expired marketing. Okay, you can watch that video. She's been out of high school for 3 years and a realtor for just over 1. This gentleman on the left has been a banker for 20 years and a realtor for I think 15 months. I think he's got 3 listings weeks. And this gentleman over here has been in the industry for 20 years. Okay. And he's awesome because he likes to door knock, and he added 2.7 million to his pipeline in 3 days of door knocking. So he really knows what he's doing. All 3 of these people are approaching our expired marketing in different ways. So I definitely want you to learn from that. Oh, Antelope Valley from California. Okay. I don't know where that is. Okay. So we'll get in more into this. I'll show you the deeper dives on that. Now, you can go here and see kind of all the kinds of things that we do. Got a lot of tools. We can help you with your marketing automation when you have listings. We have really great resources to help you build your social media accounts and just keep up with active, fresh data. And we definitely can help you get buyers. And this call is to talk about how to get more listings. So let's kind of, concentrate on that. So when you log into the account, let's see here, you're going to see a couple things on the jump page that I really want to point out. One is join our live Zoom call. So as I mentioned, expireds are really important right now. And Scott's hosting 2 calls on Monday and Wednesday to help our agents understand and unlock that. Okay. And then you see this beautiful lady here. I'm going to show you a video that she gave to us on the weekend. And then there's this post here about some emails that we create for you. This is going to help you, kind of engage your leads, right? Down here is something I want to bring up because we're starting a new service where we are doing Google ads for you. And when it comes to getting seller leads, you should definitely be thinking about Google. That's the #1 website in the industry. We create 40 PDF guides for you, branded to you for homeowners, and 40 PDF guides for buyers. And so if you're thinking about getting listings, I'll show you where and how you do that. You can do it yourself or we can do it for you. Okay. So that's just the jump page here, right? So you log in and that's what's going to go on. But I want to kind of go over some of the resources for all of you before we dive into it, right? So first of all, we do live training, I think 4 or 5 days a week now. And this is the call we're on right now, top tools for more listings. Tomorrow is open houses. And let me tell you, for 2025, open houses was our top way of getting more listings for the entire year, okay? Because there's a lot of, I don't know how long you've been with us. I know Robert's been here for 10 years. We have been focused on capturing leads for 17 years, and we're very good at it. And it's, low cost, very effective. But so we know how to capture leads. The question is, how are you on converting leads? And how long does it take to convert a lead? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 2 months? Or is it 2 years? When you're holding open houses and you're using our tools, you're going to be meeting homeowners. That's why clients hold 2 to 4 open houses every week. And when you're face-to-face, your conversion is a lot quicker. Okay. So if you want more listings, get on that call tomorrow, and I'll show you where that call is recorded, and you can learn about that as well. On Wednesday, Scott's doing a deep class on expireds. We're going to talk a little bit about expireds, but I would highly recommend that you get your arms completely around expired marketing and open house marketing for 2026. There are some other cool things you can do to capture leads, and we're going to talk about some of those things now. But these 2 things right here literally will be the 2 major sources of listings for you. We've had teams doing 2 to 4 open houses every week because that was their top way of getting listings in 2025 until expireds kind of got on the scene, right? Now, this call here, PDF guides, lots of great tools. I mentioned it earlier to help you get more listings. Boy, this week is all about getting listings. Friday, how to market sold properties. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks there. You definitely want to be marketing sold properties. And you can even do it if let's say you helped an agent or you help somebody buy a home. Well, that home is going to close at some point, right? You can turn around and market that home and get more listings. I'll show you a few things about that, but definitely, like, this week is awesome. Make some time to get on all 3 of these calls because they are all going to be telling you how to get more listings, and then onboarding is next week. Okay. You can find that. I'm going to send that to everybody right now on this call. But if you're watching this later, you can find this at leadgenwebinars.com. So that link should be floating up in the little comment section there. So let's talk about some of the other resources. First of all, we have a mastermind group, right? And this is a private group on Facebook. If you're a client, you should be here, and you should be checking this out 10, 15, 20 minutes every week. Okay. And you'll see, some of the tools that we created. We're creating an email for you to blast to, engage buyers, right? One thing worth noting, we always create short form video scripts for you throughout the platform. And you may not even know that we do that, but video is really important on social media. It's definitely important for your brand engagement. This guy always follows our scripts and shares with us the videos that he's doing. He's getting better and better. And then this one is from Gwen. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about here in a minute. But this is our overall mastermind group. Okay. The link to get to it, I'll show you where that is later. You can email me later if you're following this on a recording. So that's important to get in. But we also have a mastermind group for expireds and seller lead gen. Okay. And you can ask support for this, or you can email me for this. But again, you have to be a client to be part of this. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story here because I think it's really good. So what are we on the right one? Yeah. Let's see right here. So this story here, Gwen, let's listen for a second. It's a quick 16 seconds. So that's Gwen. Okay. And that is really, we're thankful that she created that little comment there. But I want to tell you a little bit about her because this might sound like you. So she signed up in September, and we spoke right when she signed up, and I was kind of helping her get things going. And I said, hey, you got to get in expired. You got to do open houses, and you got to do this, that, and the other. And she came in this group and started to kind of take those classes that I told you that Scott's doing, right? And I could watch her struggling and asking questions. She came back to me. He's like, hey, I'm trying to do this. It's not working, or that, whatever. And I know she would tell me, like, she's not very tech savvy. And I'm really excited that she put this on here because that was September, and now it's the beginning of January, and she totally has this down. And as she says in that video, she's got 3 listings from this. She's just going to keep going. And I want to encourage you to stay on this, get on that expired story, get on that open house story, and keep doing it. Because once, there's questions, you don't have all the answers. Even if you're taking a class like this today, you're not going to know everything in one visit. But she stuck with it, and it is starting to pay off. So that's our expired group. If you're a client and you want more listings, get in here. It's all about how to get more listings, whether it's expired or just a straight seller lead and seller ads, right? Now, another great resource is this channel right here, which is our YouTube channel. We do live training, 5 days a week. And as I mentioned on lead gen webinars, you can sign up for classes. Well, they're all recorded and right here. So if our schedule doesn't work for you this week, you can watch all those right here. And I'm going to send this link to everybody right now. But this is the videos page on our YouTube channel. And, if you just look for us listings to leads and you click on home or videos, you're going to see all this, right? And I want to point out, so remember I was showing you the videos on our homepage and I said, hey, these are like really great stories. I want to point out to you some of the videos that you definitely should see, right? And we're almost there. This right here is Scott Murray, okay? And Scott Murray is a 20-year veteran in the business. And he's got an awesome approach to door knocking. So if you're in an area and you like to door knock, I would highly recommend watching that, okay? If we scroll down, that was a month ago, okay? You can see there, it's like, 1 month ago. If we keep going down, this is an interesting story here. This is Terry Ann, who she's had her license for 1 year, but really it was inactive because she moved to Florida and her daughter was having kids or something like that. And in the very first week of actively working as a real estate agent, she signs up with us because she had a seller lead. I showed her how to create our listing presentation. The very next day, she closes that thing. So we've got a really powerful listing presentation, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. If we keep going down here, there is a video from JJ Newman, who I mentioned earlier, has been in real estate for about a year, out of high school for 3, and has 4 listings in 6 weeks. Her technique and style of leveraging our expired, she explains really clearly. I would totally watch that. And this gentleman here at the bottom where it says stop ignoring expireds, he likes to leave voicemails, and you should listen to that. If you want to call and leave a voicemail instead of just straight door knocking, you should listen to that call, because he is getting asked to come by and he's having really great conversations and he's getting more listings. So all three of those, all four of those videos, I would totally be checking out. Okay. You have a link to this page. So one of the other things that has been, well, as I said, we've been doing this for 17 years. For well over 10 years, this piece of paper called the Nearby Homeowner Letter has been the #1 tool for capturing high quality listing leads. Okay. And there are other ways of capturing listing leads and other ways where you capture more listings, like a lot more listing leads. But the quality, meaning how fast do they actually turn into a listing, is never as high as this piece of paper. And that's been true for many years until we got into expired marketing. And now things are really changing dramatically. But you can use this. And remember when I said open houses were the reason why, right? Like, were the top reason of getting more listings? It's because of this piece of paper. Because when you have an open house, you should put it in our system. You should run an ad 5-6 days earlier, and you should print out 50 or 100 of these, because it's going to say, hey, I've got an open house this weekend, and that affects your home value, and go here to get your free home value. So you're inviting nearby homeowners to your open house. And once you get there, we've got a lot of tools to make you look awesome. And Scott's going to show you all those tools, I think, tomorrow. Okay. So really great tool, the Nearby Homeowner Letter. A lot of our clients, this is a different one. It looks almost exactly the same, but this one has an open house and this one says it's sold. So most of our clients will mail this out when they have a just listed property or a sold property. They'll mail out like 100 or 200 to nearby homeowners, right? Because you might have heard of selling or mailing postcards. I've certainly seen them in my own mailbox, but usually the only call to action is call me, right? Call me when you're ready. Well, people want to do research. They don't like calling realtors all the time, right? So on this piece of paper, they can go to that website, scan that, and log on that page, which since it's sold, it's going to offer them a home value. And then it says, hey, that affects your home value. Go here. And you know that's going to get an instant home value. Okay. So the Nearby Homeowner Letter is great, just listed, on open houses, and just sold, and it can help you get listing leads. So we'll close these for now, and let's talk about what's really making so much difference right now. And that is our listing presentation. Okay, we've had a listing presentation for many years. You might have your own listing presentation. We have different ways of delivering this, right? This is a flip book version. I'm going to show you where it is. You'll notice, like, I don't know if you haven't been with us very long, you may not know that we do all these things for you automatically, right? We create YouTube videos, we put print tools together, Nearby Homeowner Letter, email marketing, right? We've even got everything mobile optimized with QR codes, and literally this page right here is closing the deal for agents all over the country, okay? So that's sitting in your account. Now I'm going to show you where all this is, but even more importantly, you can create that same exact listing presentation for one home with the homeowner's name on the cover, so that as you are going through the presentation, or as the homeowner is going through it, they're seeing their home on Facebook, on Instagram, on social media. They're seeing their home on YouTube, in print, right? This is why our clients are closing so many listings. They've got very powerful tools that are helping them, okay? Arif, I logged in from you actually have 3 of us. Okay, also down from LDP, who are joining from their home computer. Okay, cool, right on. Welcome. LTP or LDP? I know LTP because we've got, actually show you a story about that in a minute. So anyway, those, before we get into it, I hope I didn't just blow you away, but all those things I just showed you, that's where it's at, right? So I'm going to, since we're on the dashboard, I'm going to click right here where it says generate seller leads. And I'm going to kind of slow it down. This isn't how we used to talk about things, but I do want to kind of make sure you're aware of this, because we created this page to help you advertise to get seller leads. right? So you should definitely know that this is here. And I mentioned it earlier, but you know what? Creating ads on Facebook is a very fast and easy way of getting seller leads. Like, for instance, you can run an ad on a sold property and get a seller lead. You could create an ad on a PDF guide and get seller leads. You could create an ad on any landing pages, like what is your home worth, to get seller leads, right? You can do it all from Facebook. You can also do that with landing page or PDF guides on Google. And as I mentioned, oh, Lisa Drake. Oh, how are you guys? Wow, you guys are all here. Awesome. I'm glad. Yeah, Lisa Drake has also from Sacramento, right? So we got some local people here today. Had a team account with us a while ago. And yeah, so anyway, Google, I want to point out, is the #1 website in the country. Those leads cost more, but they have much higher intent. So you should be thinking about that. And as you saw at the beginning of the call, we can actually run those ads for you. Okay. So anyway, running ads, you can do that, right? That's going to get you seller leads. If we scroll down, marketing later stage homes, like homes pending, under contract, or sold, that would get you seller leads. Now, if I click here, it's going to take me to another section. I'm not going to go there just yet. But you have a lot of seller landing pages that we've created for you, and you can create your own, right? So, you know, lots of ways. We're going to dive into that a little bit later. I mentioned PDF guides earlier. So, you know, there are 40 PDF guides for homeowners. You can market them for free. You can market them in print. You can blast them out on your email, or you can run ads on Facebook and Google. We'll see how to do that in a little bit, okay? Then there are email blasts. I showed you that there's one on the pop-up, but some of these are for homeowners and some of them for home buyers. So you can blast your leads, or you can copy this email and you can blast it out on your own system, right? In your own CRM. But let's go over here. Well, before we go any deeper, I want to point out for everybody that's here, I mentioned some of the resources at the beginning, but I want to make sure, in case you're watching this on a recording, you're not getting the links I've sent you. This is the marketing calendar tab up here at the top. And there, right here, it says resources. And you can see a link to our YouTube channel. Remember, and I told you there's all kinds of videos that you need to see to get listings. There's a link to our mastermind group. And there's a link to where you can sign up for our live classes. And if you're on Instagram, follow us there. We always give a lot of short videos there that can help you out as well. So great spot for you to get and connect to us all throughout that platform. Let's go over here to listings, and let's quickly talk about the listing presentation. I showed it to you, right? Everybody saw it, but I don't know if you know where it is. So if you click on listings, you'll see right here, listing presentation, and you've got a landing page to drive people to it. You've got a print version that you can print. You might want to take a print version to an open house. And then you've got a listing presentation version, right? Or I'm sorry, a flipbook version. And that's what I was showing you earlier. So this is sitting in everybody's account right now. And it's awesome. I mean, it's great. It's closing listings all over the place. I can tell you this story. One of our clients has a lot of leads in his CRM. Okay, a lot. And he decided, I think in November, to take out like 200 of those leads and send an email. And just, it was a simple question, right? He said, hey, are you thinking of selling in 2026? If you are, click this link, which is this hyperlink right here, and have a look at how I sell homes. Okay. He has now, from one email, 17 conversations with 17 different homeowners who want to sell their home. So lots of ways, you know, think about it. If you have listing leads, you want to think about how to get this out. Okay. Now, remember when I said, like, a young lady who just got out of high school and she has 4 listings in 6 weeks, she actually is taking this step. You see how I have a canceled property here and an expired property here and a FSBO and a listing presentation? They all have something in common. They all have their own unique listing presentation for one home. Okay. So I'll show you where you create this, but that listing presentation on its own is very strong, right? We've known this. Well, we flipped it into Flipbook earlier last year, and that allowed agents to be able to get it out. You can text this to people, right? The young lady, JJ Newman, who has 4 listings in 6 weeks, she texts this link to people, right? Let me tell you a story. So notice that this has the homeowner's name on it. And as you go through the presentation, it's only got their home on it. So they're looking at random photos that we grabbed, and paid for. It's their home. That's why it's one of the reasons why this is so important and valuable for you to get more listings. Okay. So if you go to the listings page, you can click add listing. You can manually add a listing. And let's give it a second. When you come here the first time, we're always saying that the status is just listed. But if you put it as a listing presentation, or you go down to the bottom and you say it's expired or canceled or a FSBO, well, that's going to create a flipbook listing presentation, right? Put the homeowner's name, put the address, and 1 photo. That's all you need to do. How do you text it? Good question. Good question. So the listing presentation, you want to start from here, because this page, the front page, has a unique URL right here. Copy this and email it to yourself. Then open up your email in the phone, copy that link, and text it to your lead. Are you tracking with me, Mark? Does that make sense? We don't have a way to automatically do it out of the system, but you just send it to yourself in the email, open the email on your phone, copy the hyperlink that you sent to yourself, and text it to the person. And I'll tell you, that story with JJ, who's on our homepage, go listen to the call on YouTube. I can tell you what she does right now, how she's doing it. She calls them twice and they never answer. I think JJ's actually calling him like immediately. And I'll tell you what I don't know. Like, she's not waiting 2 months or 3 months. She's just calling them. And a lot of rookie agents call expireds because that's what their offices ask them to do. Like, day one, it's expired, call them. And those poor people are getting called by dozens to hundreds of agents, right? That's just what the industry does. She calls them as well twice. They don't answer. She leaves a message. And then she texts them once. And she said, hey, I called you. Would you like to see my listing presentation? No answer, right? And then she creates a unique listing presentation with their name on it and their home, the picture of their home in it. And she copies the link, like I mentioned. She emails it to herself. She opens the link in her email on her phone and texts it to those people and say, hey, please have a look at my listing presentation. This is how I would help sell your home. Here's the thing about expired home leads. They want to sell their home. For whatever reason, it didn't sell. And now you have a very compelling story of how you sell homes, which is frankly different from how most agents sell homes, right? That is why this thing works, okay? These two guys, they're not even going that hard, right? I mean, they're going hard, but they're not doing that. They're not creating that unique flipbook version for every. They're using our print. So if you can see my picture here on the video, you see this I'm holding in my hand? This is the listing presentation for expired homes, okay? We can actually print this for you, okay? We have this available. It's printed through Mailbox Power. There's a bit of a process of how you order these. And I'll send this link to you right now. You do have to be a client to do this, to order these, right? But basically, you can order the setup, and there's a little bit of email back and forth. We create a mock-up, and we say, hey, does this look right to you? And you can say yes. And you can order expired ones. You could order standard ones, or even things for FSBOs and expired, or FSBOs or canceled. The presentation itself is almost identical, but the difference is the cover has a different cover. And honestly, if you're going to be doing open houses, I recommend you order some standard ones. So it's not saying expired, it just says how we market your home, right? Because if you're holding open houses and you're inviting nearby homeowners into that open house, and you've got great tools to show them like what you do and who you are, having those handy would be really helpful. And then so you do the setup and then you order the copies. And if I order 10 copies, just in case you're curious, it's $109 for 10 copies. So what, like $11 a piece is that what it is? Something like that. The setup has a different cost. I think it's like $70. Order setup. Let's order setup for expired. $69.99. Okay. So did I send this to everybody? No. Let me send this to everybody right now. This is how you can order them. Okay. And then let's see. I had something else. Okay. Anyway, that's that. So just a reminder, you can create these inside your accounts, and on this is just, it's closing listings all over the place for our clients. So I think you got the listing presentation thing down, and I think you kind of got the basis of expireds. Don't forget, Scott's doing a class on expireds this week. Join that class or watch the ones from the previous weeks on our YouTube channel. Let's talk a little bit about just straight up sold, which I think Scott is doing a sold class as well, but let's just have a look. First of all, the two top things you should do when you have a sold property is, one, mail out the nearby homeowner letter. Okay. And there are 3 versions of the same letter. I'm going to download the middle one. And this home is sold. And let's have a look at that. Okay, so here's a nearby homeowner letter, and it says, hey, just want to let you know we sold this home. That affects your home value. Go here, here, or here and become a seller lead. So you're mailing a piece of paper to people, right? Here's an easy way to do it. Use Express Copy. They're an integrated printer with us. And once you've got the account connected, you can say, hey, Express Copy, you download it, you fold it, and you mail it to homeowners that have owned homes for more than 6 years. Bang, right there. You can decide, hey, I want a 1 or 2 or 3 mile radius, whatever you decide. So easy, right? There's only one thing I don't like about this. When they do this, they fold it and they put it in a white envelope and they print it on like a very generic looking envelope. And it kind of looks a little bit like bulk mail, okay? And people don't open bulk mail. That's the only problem. You can tell that the letter, it's not a heavy read, right? We're not making them go through a lot there. It's like quick decisions, 3 to 5 seconds. I'm making a decision or I'm not, right? So it's important to have the people open the letter. Now, our clients have been telling us about this company, zairmail.com, and they're telling us about them because they have like a really unique kind of, handwriting font. So you might want to try that out. You might also, and I've also heard of a company called, what's it called? I think it's handwritten.com. You can find companies that will handwrite stuff for you, or you can handwrite stuff, right? And I want to point that out because getting the letter open is key. Oh, I want to get to the mastermind group here because there's a client of ours who has been a client of ours like for 15 years. And she has a really awesome way of getting the nearby homeowner letter out. So let's go look at that real quick. So let's see, open. Oh, by the way, this is the mastermind group. And I forgot to mention, there are some links right here, like to get you to the expireds and things like that as well. So there's some tools right there to help you. But there are a few names in this mastermind group that you should check out, especially when it comes to getting listings, right? And one of those names, if you're writing anything down, let's see here. These are the names: Pat Motley, Dustin Fox, and Brian Mathewson. But let's look at Dustin here. Let's look at Pat. So Pat, She always prints out 100 nearby homeowner letters every time she has a new listing and mails them out. And every time she has a sold listing, okay, she prints out 100 and she mails them out, okay? So she prints up the letter, she flips it over, and she prints on the back. And she uses Microsoft Publisher to do that. And then she hand folds them and hand writes that. Now that little red stamp was actually done by Microsoft Publisher. And she's got these little tape but you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see that there's text inside of this. So this is really inviting to open this up, okay? And why would she go to work when you can mail that out in 2 clicks? Well, the reason is that she had 4 homeowners calling her on the first batch and another 4 homeowners calling her on the second batch. So that's 1 home and 200 pieces of mail generating 8 high-quality listing leads. Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, she, and she was so gracious because so many agents started talking about it that she shared a little template to create that letter look on Microsoft Publisher. It's right here. You can download it. You can email me, Vince at Listings to Leads. I can see that. I see how we can check if it's been ordered. But is there a way to see that if it's been delivered? Cameron, no, but you can email Scott. I think we do have some look at that, but we don't, like, we do the setup and then we give you the link and you order it, and then Mailbox Powers got that. But I think we can check it, but I don't think there's a live place where you can see that. Okay. So anyway, that's a little bit about the nearby homeowner letter. And I will say this though, this has been the #1 tool for capturing high quality seller leads for many, many, many years, but you have to convert those. Okay. And I want to remind you that when you're doing open houses and when you're working expireds, you are meeting those people very quickly. You don't always meet these people that quickly. And honestly, you don't get to a transaction until you meet them, right? And that's not 100% true, but it is, more often than not, that's how it goes, right? So that's why open houses and expireds are so important. Now, this home is sold, right? It's sold right here. So the other thing you should be doing is running sold ads. And I said this earlier, but if you're helping a homeowner buy a home, it's going to close. You can probably pull that listing in and run a sold ad, right? Pretty easy. Another home is sold in Auburn, and that's your home value. Click here for your home value. Bang. That easy. It's that easy. And your leads come in with name, email, and phone number, okay? So I'm going to go look in here, back in the mastermind group, and I'm going to type in Brian Matheson down here, because Brian, he has an office account with us, right, with LPT. And yeah, okay, so he's doing a call on expired. But let's look. I want to see if I can find this for you. This is Brian's open house marketing. And Brian, if you look for his name on our YouTube channel, Brian Matheson, or you can email me. I've got a call with it built in. He does a lot of open houses, like 2 to 4 every week. And let's see what this okay, no, that's not it. Bear with me. I want to find this. It's a good video basically showing, hey, yeah, right here. Yeah. So Brian, because he has an office account with us, he does a lot of training to get his agents to say, hey, here's what we're doing. Here's how I use it, right? This is what it's doing for me, right? And there's an awesome video that I want you to see, which is, where is it? You take it down? It's on our YouTube channel, but let's see if it's here. Yeah. Let's go to YouTube. Sorry. Basically, he runs an ad, gets one $4 lead, and it turns into $850,000 of production. Person wants to sell the home and buy another one, sell one for 400 and buy one for 450. Okay. And if you go to our videos page on YouTube and you type in his name, you'll see it. And I'll do it. If I can get a quick yes or no. Has everybody here run Facebook ads with our platform? Yes, just yes or no. Because a lot of agents have run Facebook ads in other ways, right? With other platforms. And if you do it direct Facebook, it can waste your money, frankly, right? With our system, you get name, email, and phone number with every lead. Now, I want to point out what he says here. It's actually pretty cool. And he said, hey, we actually ran ads on this home and got 114 buyer leads, and we put 3 of those leads. Oh, he was pretty happy about that, right? And then he says, then we can changed it over to sold, and we ran one ad, got one $4 lead, texted it in the morning, got an appointment in the afternoon to potentially sell a home for 400 and buy another one for 450 from one $4 lead. Okay. This is a really important thing that most agents forget. Yeah. In 3 clicks. Yeah. Most agents just don't even think of doing that. Like, I see a lot of agents share really colorful pictures. Hey, I sold this. There's no lead capture with it. But this, when you click on our ads, you get name, email, and phone number so fast. So if you want easy, low cost leads, I would totally be running ads on Facebook. Like, that's slam dunk. Okay. And all you got to do is click that green button. We've done everything. You're going to get leads with name, email, and phone number. You can change the questions. Scott will show you. We got all kinds of cool questions. Yeah. Okay. Mark has a question. Vince, do we go to the draft to make a custom booklet for a potential listing? No, you go here. If you want to make a listing, custom listing, and you can email me at Vince@listings2leads if you need a team account, or if you want to I have an email on to show you what I'm going to do right here. You go to listings, you click add listing, you do manual, you're creating a custom presentation for any kind of seller lead, right? Listing presentation here, or canceled, expired, or Facebook. Okay. Is that clear, Mark, how that's working? And I want to tell you this. So let's imagine, let's say that we did the easy thing. We want to run a Facebook ad, okay? Because Facebook leads are going to come in fast. So let me show you what actually happens. Okay, let's just say we're going to run that ad on a sold property. These are the cheapest way of getting seller leads. Like, the cost like $7 to $10 per lead. Okay. And if you follow the steps, we now have an awesome way to convert the lead. So let's talk about it. Okay. So we got a sold property. We click on Facebook and Instagram, and we wait for that to go. Now, if you want, you can say, hey, like, because this is still happening, right? Like, you could say, sold in 7 days. If that happened, right? This is happening in some markets. I talked to a lot of agents, right? If you sold above asking, right? Put that there. That would make this ad a little more compelling. But the one I showed you there online with Brian, he didn't do anything. He just clicked this green button, didn't change anything. But I want you to understand why Facebook is so powerful here. You don't have to do this, but you can click advanced and click create new forms. When people see the ad, there are questions. And I don't know if you can read this, but that says full name, email, and phone number. And when people click on the ad, these forms, these fields are automatically filled out from the profile of the person who clicked on the ad. Okay. And that is like key, because it's really hard to get name, email, and phone number on the internet. All right. Now we give them some TCPA language, and then we say, hey, give us your address. Click here and give us your address, and boom, we're going to give you an instant home value. And a lot of people will go away. They don't even follow through, right? They kind of, because here where it says next for us, it actually says, yes, submit my info. So they're thinking, okay, I'm done. They may not even go here, and they may not go here. But at this point, you've already got their name, phone number, and email. Okay, so we've gone this far. We've run an ad. We got their name, phone number, and email, but you don't have their address. What you should do is text that lead and say, hey, I saw that you wanted your home value. You saw my ad on Facebook. We didn't get your address. Would you text that to me, please? Okay. And then they text it to you, right? And say, I'll get that for you in just a few minutes. Just send me your address. Okay. And from there, you can go to your home value page. And I've created a lot of home value pages, but I would do this generic home value page, which you can create unlimited landing pages for home value right here, Prop Valuation Plus, and call it whatever you want, right? Call it whatever state, right? Florida, California, wherever you are, right? To put that as the name. But you want to make a change to it. I'm going to make a change to this one here in Houston. I'm going to click edit, because the way that our configuration is of these pages is we want their email address right away. And this one I turned off. So you see this, it says Facebook registration. That's usually checked. And when it's checked, there'll be a little F here. And that means that when they enter their address and they click that button, it grabs their email from Facebook, okay? But if you have their email, because you already had it, because you got that in the original lead, and then you texted them and you emailed them, say, hey, can we have your address so I can get you their home value? You drop it here, and then when you click this button, it's going to say, let's have your contact information. And now you have all their contact information because you got it in the original sold lead, okay? And at that point, you're gonna see the home value. We're gonna email you. We're gonna email the consumer the home value because you put their email address in there, and we're gonna copy you on what they received. Okay. So that's the beginning, right? And every month we're gonna update them. We're gonna give them an updated value from you to them about their home value, right? But wait, there's more. So now at that point, text them and say, hey, did you get that? I sent that to you in email. You should have an email. It has the values. Here's what I see. And then ask them some basic questions like, hey, does that sound right? Is that high? Is that low? Ask them like, did you do any improvements? Have you made any changes, right? So you use the landing pages with the lead to get them the instant home value in case they didn't get it. If they did get the home value, you would be copied on it. And yes, they would be updated every month on it. But now, you know they have their home value. You now have their name, phone number, and email. And what can we do, everybody? We can go right over here to the listings page and create a listing presentation for that lead manually because you have their name, right? And you can go to Google Street Views or you can go to realtor.com because we're not syndicating this. So just put their name here. Put their address here because now you have it because you texted them and emailed, and add one photo. And then say, hey, now that you have your home value, let me show you how I sell homes. And you send them this with their name on it. That's a really awesome way of converting these seller leads. Wherever you get a seller lead, this can be very helpful for you. All right. Did everybody follow that story there? Let me know if there's any questions there. What we've talked about are expired marketings. We've talked about open house leads, open house marketing, which gets you more seller leads. I'm going to show you something. We talked about the nearby homeowner letter, which gets you seller leads. So you got a lot of, and sold ads that get you seller leads, right? I'm going to dive into something over here. We've got about 10 minutes left. If you have questions, please put them in the comments panel and I'll answer as many as I can. There's two more reasons, and Scott's going to go in depth this week about about open house marketing. Please get open houses into your business. Even if you're borrowing those listings, you're going to find that you're getting more listings. So you remember I showed you the nearby homeowner letter. I say, hey, invite everybody, right? So you got that part. Well, what do you do when you get there to the open house? If the home is furnished, have all kinds of apps. They have like Netflix apps and they have YouTube apps. Grab the remote, open up YouTube, and point the YouTube search to this title right here. Okay. And this is our listing presentation in a video format, a 5-minute commercial. Imagine this running on an 80-inch TV as people are walking through the house. If you know that I've got a print version that you can go order, well, that can be on the kitchen counter. But as they're walking through and you've invited 50 or 100 homeowners that are neighbors, if those homeowners came in, it's probably because they're thinking about selling. And as you can see, we've got a pretty compelling story that can be showing on the TV. Now, if the home isn't furnished, you can have it on your laptop if you want, right? And it's kind of cool, a little bit harder to see that way. But this is basically starting conversations for you with people who are thinking of selling. You like that, Natalie? It's not bad, right? Yeah, it's awesome. So that's part of the open house story. The other part is, and we'll dive into PDF guides. You all have 80 PDF guides in your account. 40 are for home buyers and 40 are for home sellers. Okay. So you don't know who's going to walk through that open house, right? It might be a home buyer or home seller. So pick 3. There's a bunch. They're all branded to you on every page. Pick the ones that are more relevant to you and your business. And go here to print flyers and we'll give it a second. Print out different flyers on 6 different topics, okay? And then go over to Office Depot or whatever it's called now and go get the tabletop acrylic thing, right? And put a different one, put one in the laundry room, put a different one in the master bedroom, put a different one in the dining room, so that as people are walking through the open house, they're seeing you, right? They know that you are the realtor. So you got this awesome commercial running on the TV. Every room they walk in, they're seeing you with your logo, right? And that's really where you want to be. You want to invite the neighbors and talk to the neighbors who are thinking about selling their home, right? That's it. That's a couple of the reasons, things you got to do with open houses. But since we're here on this, you can run ads on Facebook. It's easy, right? I do want to point out, and we do a class on ads and Facebook advertising. There is a cost per lead. You notice whenever you run an ad on a home that is for seller leads, we put the budget at $50 here. Sheldon, what's that question? Where's this graphic? This graphic here, when I click on Facebook and Instagram, this is pre-written for you. You don't need to even think about it. You just need to type in wherever you want this to show up, right? Like that. Yeah, that's how you do it. Yeah, like that, right? And that's it. Bang, create ad. This will get leads, name, email, and phone number. But I want to point out, remember how I said, hey, run an ad on a sold property and get leads for $7 to $10 each with name, email, and phone number? When you run this ad, these leads cost between $10 and $12 each, okay? Maybe even more each. I've even seen these leads cost $20 each. I really don't want, I mean, that's not a bad cost, but the more leads you can get for your money, the better. So that's why sold can be actually a little bit better, right? But there are 40 different PDF guides that you can run ads on Facebook, and you can also run ads on Google, all right? Those leads are always more expensive. Seller leads, like in Dallas, Texas, running a home value ad, right? What is your Dallas home worth? Those leads cost $30 each. Now, homes are expensive in Dallas, so the math works, right? But the point is, Google leads are more expensive and they have higher intent. They are higher quality leads. Okay. Now, when you sign up with us, we ask you to connect to your social media accounts. We will auto post these landing pages all year long to your social media pages, right? With a landing page behind it so that they can click on it, give you their contact info, and download it for free. You see the words hundreds or thousands of leads in a CRM somewhere. You should get in the habit of every week copying right here the code, the HTML code, and blasting it out on your leads. Like I said, there are 40. That link right there, this picture right here, your lead to get their home value, okay, or to capture a lead, right? So you've got 40 for home buyers, 40 for home sellers. Honestly, you should be every week or even twice a week getting this out, because if you have CRMs, my guess is you have a drip campaign going, right? And I can also guess that nobody is calling you from your CRM, right? You're just dripping on them because you know you got to do that. This is actually offering value that they can go get some more information. And our drip campaigns, we have our own drip campaigns over here and follows. We actually close appointments for our clients, right? So if you're using your own CRM, get in the habit of copying this. Copy for FUB means copy for follow-up us. And yeah, we have postcards and door hangers. I do want to show you something over here. Sheldon, we talked earlier, right? Are you the one in San Antonio? I can't remember. I'm going to go over the landing page and show you something cool that one of our San Antonio offices does. Okay. So, he's got a bunch of agents and he created a landing page for San Antonio. And I have where you are, you might want to leverage this kind of strategy as well. So when you go to marketing tools for landing pages, you can see you can run Facebook ads, Google, social media. This kind of lead on Facebook, like when you run what is your home worth for a landing page like this kind of lead costs $15 to $20, okay, on average. So again, you could run ads on sold properties and get leads for $7 to $10, or you can be paid 2 to 3 times for this lead. Still going to get an minimum phone number. They're still thinking, I want my home value, right? You would have to type in San Antonio. There's also some tricks about that I would say, and I'll show you. We're running into the end of the hour. I'm going to give you a super awesome pro tip after the hour. I appreciate being here. But here, you type in San Antonio, create ad, great, obviously. But what I wanted to show you is one of our clients from San Antonio. He gets this door hanger and he prints it at Vistaprint. He says if you order in group of 1,000, they give you a really awesome deal. Okay, and they ship them to his home. And then he hands out a stack to his agents and says, hey, go walk those streets over there. And you should go walk those streets over there, right? And he knows who's walking and who's not, because people can scan that and get their home value immediately. And he knows, oh, I got their address and their email. I know they want a home value. And then he has his way of converting that, right? So that's a cool way, another way of getting that out. If you've got a neighborhood where you want a door knock, or maybe you print a bunch of these to maybe just put these as your door knocking for the open house. However you want to do it. There are tools in print, in email, for free social media, and paid ads to help you get seller leads, okay? So let's talk a little bit. This is a little bit deep dive, but you've hung out for an hour, so I appreciate it. I want to tell you this. Now, this is actually very important depending on where you live. And San Antonio is targeting a certain part of San Antonio. I'm going to show you, like me, I live in a small town called Lafayette, and around me in every direction is another town that's got like 30,000 people, right? But right next to me is a town called Walnut Creek. And I have a home value page designed for Walnut Creek. It's right here. Okay. And I can even type in the zip code here, and it will grab the sales data from Walnut Creek and auto embed it in my ad. Monica can't hear me. Can everybody hear me? Did I lose you? Better close some things here. Okay, thanks. So this picture here is of the mall in the center of Walnut Creek. Like, we get 6 million people here every year. Okay. So you would think if I type in Walnut Creek here, not Ohio, but Walnut Creek, California, $50 ad, boom. I want to point out these leads can often cost $12, $15 each. So $50 is going to get me 3 leads. Okay. But here's the downside of this. Okay. Like, I don't know if you've ever even been to Walnut Creek, but let me tell you, we live in a high dense area, right? Like, I live in a kind of a bit of a suburb. We're about 30 minutes from San Francisco if there's no traffic, right? And the problem is, when you run an ad on Facebook, they always say 15-mile radius minimum, okay? And that can really work against you. So if I go here and I say I want to open this in Maps, let me describe why this kind of ad can really be a waste of money. So this is Google. Give it a second. Come on. While waiting, you see this button here? It says retarget current leads and custom audiences. This is the workaround. If I check that box and I have a custom audience called Walnut Creek homeowners, it will only show this ad to the people on that list. And here's why I need to do that. You see this little area right here where my mouse is? That radius in Walnut Creek. Let's see. That's about this. And there's well over 1 million people in a 15-mile radius that don't live in Walnut Creek. And they're all going to see my ad. So it depends, like, you might not be in that kind of area where there's just town and town and town and town. But if you are, you can go here to ads, and you can go to companies like, I don't know, maybe My Plus Leads or RedX or Remind. And you can buy a list of homeowners that have owned a home for more than 5 years. Okay. And when you do that, you come to this again, because it's something weird. And when you create an audience, you upload it and import it into your Facebook account. Okay. And it will live there forever, even if you stop working with us. Oh, come on, don't do this to me. We'll give it a second. It actually shows you the format of the spreadsheet, what it should look like. Lord of mercy. Well, we didn't do too bad in tech today, but now it's getting a little bit wonky. Oh, all right. Well, you're going to have to believe me that when you click create audience, this window pops up and it says, what's the audience name? And it should be called Walnut Creek Homeowners. And at the bottom of the window, it shows you the spreadsheet of what it should look like. It's like name, email, phone number, and that's it. Okay. And once you've done that, there we go. 4th time's the charm. Here's the one thing I want you to know. It has to be a minimum of 1,000 names. Okay. So if you're in a community where it's 500 homes, add some more names to it because Facebook won't let you use it. You name it here, right? And it's got to have these columns with those headers. Do it in a CSV file. It should not be longer than 10,000. I had an agent call me. He had lists that were 40,000 names long. It's got to be smaller than 10,000. Less, more than 1,000, less, but and less than 10,000. But once you've done that, well, now when you're running Facebook ads, you can target those landing pages. You can target it with sold ads. You can target them with the PDF guides, and you're just targeting those homeowners, and you know they're homeowners, right? And you know it's their area. I hope that sorry for the distraction there. I hope that helped. Any questions? That's kind of the end of my story here. Any questions about what we've been talking about today? Well, I don't see any. This call has been recorded, and it's going to be on our YouTube channel. And let us know if you need, if you have any questions about this. If you want, I've got a great email for open houses and another one with all the links on expireds. If you need app listings to leads.com, just email me if you have any questions on this. Glad that helped, Showman. You're welcome. And thank you, Natalie. I hope this helps. And yeah, if anybody has any questions, let us know. Get expireds in your business. Get open houses in your business. Run ads on Facebook for sure. And definitely run ads on Google. That is like high quality listings. You're welcome, Robert. Thanks. Okay. Have a great 2026. Literally, these are the things that are going to help you have a great 2026. If you want more listings, repeat, rinse and repeat this call. Okay. Take it easy, everybody. Bye-bye.